Hey y'all, it's your favorite Armadillo Lord here, and I want to talk about and show you my journey through my Pokemon Wilds world that I'm currently using as practice for when developers hopefully add multiplayer so my friends and I can have some fun and make some good content. But for now, I set up my large world and let's get down to the first hours of this world. Once I finally loaded into the world, I surveyed my starting area to see what I could collect. I knew I had to get another Pokemon, but I was in a bit of a picky mood when selecting who I wanted on my team, so I went about it and collected some berries to start off my journey. However, while I was trying to collect some berries, I unfortunately triggered a Sudowoodo, which it then proceeded to attack me and nearly take out my only Pokemon as it kept preventing me from escaping. When I finally escaped that Sudowoodo, I unfortunately encountered another Sudowoodo when I tried to resume collecting berries again. Thankfully, I was able to escape more easily this time around and hightail it out of there. My luck then improved as I found a good amount of washed up Pokeballs on the beach that will be helpful, but just need to build up a team before I try my hands at catching Pokemon in the tall grass. Only for my luck to turn sour again as I encountered a third Sudowoodo when I thought it was safe to pick berries again. I was able to escape, but I knew I had to get more Pokemon ASAP and train them to protect myself better than I currently am. That's when my picky nature finally subsided and I encountered a friendly Squirtle who was more than happy to join my venture and keep me safe. I then came across a Numel who was friendly and willing to join my team as my third member, and boy, getting Numel could not have come at a better time as night fell upon the land, and since Numel is a fire-type Pokemon, I had Numel follow me to provide me light and to protect me from the darkness. I then encountered a Chikorita, and while they're not viewed as the best grass-type starter, I was more than willing to take it as grass-type Pokemon like Chikorita have the ability to cut down grass and trees to gather resources, which is very vital to this game. So, when the darkness lifted, I started using Chikorita's ability to cut down grass and trees to gather the materials needed to build a house whenever I find a spot that I'd like to construct my home on. But for now, I'll continue my adventure gathering Pokemon and items till I find that perfect spot. During my exploration, I found an Icebound, and due to this being Pokemon Wilds, I have my Numel, who is also a ground-type Pokemon, take me up a path up the mountain to explore the areas to see what it can offer me. One thing the Icebound offered was a Riolu. While a good find, it would have been better if I was able to catch it, but unfortunately I can't win everything, and this Riolu will not be joining my adventure due to me knocking it out. However, during this battle I used my Squirtle and noticed its colors were off and thought it was a glitch, but after a second thought I wondered if it was actually a shiny, as if it was actually a shiny it should have sparkled when it was sent out. So when I was done with the battle and checked Squirtle's stats, it turns out he is a shiny, and that Pokemon Wilds doesn't display the shiny sparkles should you send it out. But it will sparkle should you encounter a shiny Pokemon in a battle, which I have seen with my own two eyes. After that whole episode, I went back to my goal of gathering building materials to make a house when I find that perfect plot of land that I want to settle on. During my search for a good plot of land, I was caught in the desert at night and had to get out of there ASAP due to the fact that Cacturine like to come out at night by disguising themselves as regular cactus, waiting for trainers like myself to get close to them and then start coming after us when we get too close to them. I then continued my quest and stumbled upon an abandoned egg that was being threatened by a nearby Dragonite, so I had to get the Dragonite away from the egg so it wouldn't harm it, and my first attempt at this was trying to fence it off into a corner of the beach. However, it took so long that it turned to night and I had my Numel come out to keep me safe from the darkness. However, I quickly got the idea that I could instead use Numel's dig ability to corner off the Dragonite and gather sand for future constructions. Once that dangerous Dragonite was cornered off, I rescued the stranded egg and took it in it as a future member of my team when it hatches. My kind deed to save that stranded egg did not go unnoticed, as Fate rewarded me with a Shinx to join my team, giving me my 5th Pokemon. Fate was very generous to me for my noble deed, as the egg hatched into a Dratini, giving me my 6th member for my team and a very powerful Pokemon in the future. No good deed goes unrewarded, I see. I then stumbled upon a graveyard to find the odd keystone that gave me a chance to catch a Spiritomb, and a place to find ghost Pokemon and to help me in this future goal, as well as a random Pokédoll, which I have a feeling is a Banette due to the Pokemon's origins as an abandoned doll that's possessed and wants vengeance against the owner that abandoned it. So I had to find a place to call home that's close to the graveyard, but obviously not right next to the graveyard, as I don't want to live next to a graveyard. And sure enough, I find my desired plot of land on the beach that's a decent distance away from the graveyard and close to resources that help me in my construction. But first, I need to prep the land for my home. Once the land was prepped, I tried building a house, but did not know what I was doing, and the first attempt of building a house went up in smoke. After some trial and error, I was finally able to build up a house the second time around, and have now completed a major goal of my starting journey. A nice beach house next to a good areas to gather resources and valuable Pokemon. My picky mood helped me again in getting a good spot in this world. However, I wasn't fully satisfied with just an empty house and had to decorate it to be more cozy and make it feel like a true home to me. Some of the decorations I'll need to look up on how to create or implement properly, such as the stairs, as I'll need to look up what's the deal with the second floor. While doing some trial and error in decorating, I somehow got rid of my exit door and was locked into my own house. which I started to panic as I didn't save for quite some time. After some panicking, I eventually found that I had an escape rope and used that to get out of my house and fix my issues of getting out. After that brief scare, I wrapped up furnishing my house for now, as I'll need to read up on how to make a bed and which Pokemon could get me those needed materials. So for now, I'll be happy with what I've created and have placed in my new home. I also decided to build a starter home for my current and future Pokemon, as I obviously will want to gather more Pokemon and change up my team for Pokemon that'll be more useful in certain situations. And building that pen could not have come at a better time, as I found a friendly Sableye to become my first extra Pokemon. This Sableye has the field move of Attack, which allows me to engage in combat with wandering Pokemon that are not so friendly and engage them in battle without giving them a Rage boost. Plus, Sableye has the chance of giving me an Evolution Stone if it's placed in its favorable habitat. So that's definitely going to come in handy. After that, I called it a wrap, and that's what I'm going to do with this video now. So thank y'all so much for watching and listening to my journey. Make sure to like the video, subscribe for more commentary from me, and hopefully I'll see you in the next video.